What's up? I'm Love from a Leo. Welcome back here if you have been here before. And welcome if this is your first time. I'm drinking alfalfa and peppermint tea and it is amazing. And yeah, my grandma, who's a Capricorn, let me have this cup that says "You are my dude." And it was sweet. So let's go ahead and get into this. My fellow Geminis. Okay. Oh. Okay. That was interesting. So we're starting off. We're gonna do a whole spread for the October 2018. So Libra season, but it will transition into Scorpio season. So a lot of stuff probably will be happening. I'm not gonna lie. So let's go ahead and see what's gonna be going on for Gemini. Whoa. Seems like there's already a lot coming out. But I feel like for Geminis, Libra season is a time where a lot of stuff happens, either good or bad, depending on which twin was doing the most throughout the year. So I feel like Libra season or around this time for Geminis does always get a little, like things start to change, right? Things start to either get a lot better or a lot worse. So let's go ahead and see what's going on for you, Gemini. So the energy for the beginning of October is the Nine of Cups in reverse. So this generally means, just basically translating what the card means is uncomfortability wherever you're at, maybe even uncomfortable in a relationship status or in a love situation, or emotional problems, or even like not comfortable in your living situations. But this doesn't mean this is terrible. This could just mean that this is an energy where you finally start to get fed up with settling, so it pushes you to do better. So it's not necessarily a bad card, right? So that's the energy. Maybe not feeling like you're tired of settling or tired of being tired. That's the energy. But what I like about that energy, it's very Malachite. So it's change, gets things going. Okay. So we start with the Eight of Wands in reverse. So this means that there's a sign that you're not paying attention to, or something that you're afraid to admit because you're afraid, or maybe afraid to even start because you're afraid of how the outcome is going to be. So let's go ahead and see what this Eight of Wands in reverse is about. Whoa. So we have Three of Cups in reverse. So this could have been indulgence with drinking or having too much fun, partying, indulgence in any type of vice that you have, or anything that you do that's fun but isn't necessarily good for you. Or this could even be situations with family, if this is dealing with family or friends, where you are not getting along, or in relationships, there could be an issue with not being able to merge the friend groups of each side of each spouse, or maybe someone feeling like they spend too much time with their friends, or even someone feeling jealous of someone spending too much time with anyone. Or the worst of the worst would be cheating, right? So there's signs that you're ignoring, and I feel like it's because you're not sure about how you feel, or you're not sure if you can trust how you feel. Eight of Pentacles. So this has to do with something that you work hard on, or something that you may have put a lot of time and effort into. So maybe if this is a relationship, yeah, looks like it is a relationship. You may find you may get some communication about something, and this could be from an air sign, or just you get like a random thought, and you realize some truth about a situation dealing with emotions, and maybe even work, or friendships, or something you put a lot of time into. You find some type of message that comes to you, and you realize, dang, you might have to worry about it. Or this may be what you were worrying about, but now that you know that it's true, you're on the right path, and now you can make better decisions, right? So let's go ahead and see what happens. We move to the Knight of Cups here. So this is you being optimistic, or not necessarily you, but this could be you being optimistic about how you feel, or maybe optimistic about the feelings that you had. So it doesn't necessarily mean that things are good. They could be, but if they're not good, it could just mean that you feel better now that you know the truth about something. So in a way that's better for you because you know you're not crazy, right? So let's see what truth that this holds for... Yes, so maybe you were in need of assistance. You needed someone to lean on. Maybe you needed help with money, or you just needed someone to be there for you, or spiritually you needed someone there. And I think you finally asked for it, and you finally, or maybe you even asked for signs. I'm thinking you asked for signs on, what you should do about the situation. Should you act on it? Should you just let this person do what they're doing? Should you speak up? And I think once you asked, you kind of, the signs came. Because you asked, and then you were like, okay, well, I didn't want it to be like that. I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to confirm that that's what happened, but that is what happened. And I feel better, and I feel more secure with myself now that I know that I'm not crazy, right? So I feel like that's the energy of that. Then we move into the Nine of Wands here. So this means that now that you have the information, what are you going to do about it? Now that you're prepared and you're ready to make some actions, what are you going to do? You need to do something now. That's what that card is saying. You need to do something, but for some reason you may feel like lost still, or you may feel like you don't know what to do next, right? So let's go ahead and see what you need to be doing. You probably need to start focusing on your money. It's time to boss up, okay? It's time to kind of put the feelings to the side and focus on finances, earthly possessions, material possessions, and get into that mindset of a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, at least when it comes to working and finances, is to have stability and financial security. So that's what you need to focus on. This could also be you kind of becoming more of a person who isn't all wrapped up in emotions. You're wrapped up in the practicality of things, what works and what doesn't. And if it doesn't work, get rid of it. So if whatever you find out, whatever it is that you know, if it doesn't fit with your criteria, do something about it. What are you going to do about it? You're going to boss up and do what needs to be done for you, and also what needs to be done for your future, the foundation of your future. Okay? So we're going to go into the middle of October for Gemini. Middle of October for Gemini. Okay, so here we have the Libra card, the Justice card. So this could be, kind of rounding out Libra season at the very end of Libra season, okay? So it looks like that's the start of it, right? So let me go ahead and pull the cards. I don't know what the hell I just did there. I felt the need to tell you guys this. So that signifies the end of Libra season. The energy is about you putting in action, you actually doing something. So kind of following off where we left off in the beginning of October, you are going to start putting things into action, okay? And being that this is the Libra season, I think you're going to get some type of justice. You may even have a Libra come to you and be of assistance, or be what you needed to get out of a situation, or to do what you needed to do. But nonetheless, it definitely is a karmic reward coming your way, I would say. Yeah. Abundance, prosperity, independence, security, beauty, like everything to do with earthly abundance and earthly beauty and just power. But it's a feminine power, so it isn't necessarily about showing off, but it's more so being like, oh yeah, you can come over, and then they come over and they see how much stuff you have, how beautiful everything is, what you worked for, what type of person you are. It's like letting the other person see for themselves what you already know to be true, right? So kind of like seeing the eye of the beholder, almost, is what I want to say. King of Wands. So King of Wands shows up, so that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is a normal fire sign. It could be a male or someone who is more of a male type of energy. But nonetheless, this is a person who is very fiery and very fun, very playful, very creative, and almost a creative genius. But they can be seen as immature if no one observes them long enough. If someone just takes the first glance at him, they'll be like, oh, he's too playful, he's too immature. But really, he's really smart, and he comes off as a playful person. He's about having fun. He's about, doing and action and feeling what feels right. So that's who that person is. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Wands here. So to me, this card usually represents Sagittarius or an Aries. So let's go ahead and see if I can get more details. King of Wands. Who is he? Or maybe some traits that I can tell. Gemini. Who is this fire sign? Okay, so this could be an earth sign, or someone who's really, really independent and has their shit together. This could be someone who's older, a woman, someone who is more on the softer side, maybe just more of a feminine energy. But again, this is Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus energy, okay? So someone along those lines, someone who's definitely in tune with how to get money, how to save it, or and also understanding that patience is a virtue, and understanding that being calm and having a plan and sticking to it is how you get results. So that's what that is about. So if this is you and this isn't dealing with literally those signs, this could just be you understanding that in order to kind of boss up and to become a leader of your own sort, and to become a person who is completely in control of what they want and what they will achieve, you kind of have to have a financial footing. And it might not be because of anything more than just because of what you want to achieve. You need more money to get that. Okay, so for some of you it's really simple. For some of you it's more out, and you have to think more on a spiritual level about what this represents, right? But on a base level, this is more about you just kind of understanding how you have to be in terms of aggression, I'm guessing, and in terms of action and putting forth action in order to achieve the status that you want, in order to almost graduate into this more Hierophant energy, okay? Yeah. And so you're waiting for it, though. I feel like you know that it's coming, but it's like you understand that in order to achieve that, you have to get more money, you have to save more money, you have to spend money, also to make it, right? So, but that comes with it. So not bad, it's just advice. And I think you really get to that point where you understand it then. And then for some of you, it could definitely be a fire and earth situation where their sun, moon, or rising is a part of that. And those are the two people that are together, or maybe the energies meet together and it just works. Then we go to the Empress card in reverse. So my first thought that is this is someone who is not appreciating what's around them. Capricorn also had this person show up, so maybe if you have a Capricorn in your life, which you might because that card came up in their the past card came also in their reading, go check that out too. So this could also just be a Virgo or a Capricorn or a Taurus who is not, you know, being nice, or maybe just being standoffish, or just not sharing their resources, or not spending their time with you. Let's go ahead and see what more I can give you on that person or that situation. And person reverse. Additional information for Gemini. Oh. Okay, so we got the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so this is most likely like a Taurus, someone who's either being, I'm not saying all Tauruses are like this, but for some reason I feel like it's a Taurus in your life. Or Taurus energy where they're being stubborn. And I feel like this is a person who is not trying to share. They don't want to spend. And they may be greedy. For some of them, they may be greedy. They may want more and more and more. But to some effect, if you want more and more and more, you probably aren't spending your own money to get things, right? So this could also be someone telling too much of someone else's business, gossiping about money or about their finances or their home life, something of that effect, or maybe even in their job, just, you know, gossip going around. Nonetheless, though, I do think this is a person who is not, it definitely is an earth sign or earth person who is not being nice or fair, or at least just being really standoffish and maybe arrogant to the point where they make the other person feel like they're nothing around them, or it's something where it's just like I don't want to deal with that, or I'm not talking to him, I don't want to tell them anything, or I'm going to say so much that it embarrasses them. It's something like one or the other, okay? So it's along those lines. So I'm going to move my cards up a little bit, and then I'm going to go into the end of October for my Geminis. Okay, end of October for Gemini. So by this time, it would definitely be Scorpio season. Or if you're watching it at the present time that you should be watching it, then it is Scorpio season at this point. Alrighty. So here's the first card. Alrighty. So the energy of the end of October, Ace of Pentacles. So the right path. There's no bad things about this. The right path, maybe a miracle, a piece of advice that really changes your life. Maybe like a blessing of some type of in an earthly sense, like housing, finances, a baby perhaps, if you've been wanting one. Maybe an increase in money, promotion, a position, a higher status of some sort. Definitely good energy though. But we start off with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So for some of you, you may not be receiving money from a family type of thing, or an income that deals with family. It may be a situation where it's not coming in, or there's a blockage in that. I also feel like this is saying there's some sense of family not being happy, or home life not being happy, or maybe breaking the traditions, okay? So it may not be bad, but it's something different. So let's go ahead and see. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Details on that. Sorry, y'all. I shuffle like really crazy. Okay, so we got two cards. Okay, So we have the Six of Swords in reverse. So this is not having help, not receiving assistance, maybe someone not being a shoulder to lean on, maybe not being able to get to point A to point B how you would want to. And then we have the Star card here, which is the Aquarius card. So this is dealing with an Aquarius, which it very well could be, because this is an air sign card over here. So dealing with an Aquarius, maybe there's a sense of dreams or desires maybe not being helpful towards a situation, or maybe you're not getting the help so that you can achieve this desire or dream. And so maybe that's where it stems from with the family. Like maybe this person is a family member and for some reason they're not helping or they're not cooperating. And you may feel like you're alone, or maybe like your dream is something that they can't see for you, or they can't picture, happening. So yeah, since it could be a Capricorn, so you not you, but a Capricorn also in the situation with a Aquarius or something of that effect. So then we go to the Ace of Wands in reverse. So this is stagnation, procrastination maybe, or just maybe like doubt, indecisiveness about doing something. There's a stagnation in putting forth some type of physical action for some reason. So let's see why. Why is there no movement happening? Why is there stagnation? There's stagnation because you're comfortable, you want to be comfortable, maybe in your emotional life or your home life, or anything that deals with emotional ties. You want to be comfortable. Anything else I can say? Yeah, and it was time for you to put your priorities together and really start to balance and put into organize and prioritize what you really care about and what you need to focus on. And so I think this was a change that maybe you didn't expect, but it was something that you knew probably needed to happen. But I don't think you planned it in any sort of way, but it was something that when it came up, you were like, okay, I need to do this because I want more. And it was almost like the situation you were in, or the thing before you made the decision, it was like you weren't focusing on what it could be for you or what you could have, because you were too busy looking down and too busy, worrying about what you lost, or maybe what they said that really made you feel like, I didn't know you felt that way about me. And so you just had to do some learning, and you just had to commit to, I think you had to commit to changing your world around so that there would be no more conflict for you in your life, or conflict between you and that other person. Yeah, go within yourself and find inner wisdom. Right. And so I think you had to stop actions or dealings with that person, that situation, that job, whatever that situation is. You put the pause on it. You stopped it because you were like, okay, there needs to be a stop to this because you're not okay with it. It doesn't make you feel comfortable or happy anymore. Whatever. Emotionally, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. It almost feels nauseating to you, like, ugh, I don't want to deal with that right now, Okay, so then we move into, so if that is what your situation is, I actually think that's a really, really good thing. I usually don't like to see the Ace of Wands in reverse, just because it's not a card, it's a card of action. So when I see it not in action, I'm like, what the hell is going on, So that is actually a really good reason to stop something, is because it's like you want more, you're not settling. And so we end things off perfectly, depending on which side of karma you're on, with the Judgment card. Putting up or shutting up. Really taking the time to do something about the situation if you don't like it. So again, if this is dealing with love or just even family, if you feel like you're not getting what you deserve and you're ready to move on and to just end it, that's what you're going to do. This is definitely going to be like the deal or no deal, the make it or break it moment, the final countdown. I think it's going to be really big for a lot of you. So what is this dealing with? What are they making a decision on? What's being analyzed and being, what decision is being made? So for some of you, this could be dealing with, fiery energy. So maybe a passionate energy. So maybe like in love. Maybe you're trying to figure out if you should stay or if you should go. Maybe you're trying to figure out what should you do? What's your next step in action? What is it going to be? What is it telling you? Yeah, it's definitely fire energy. It's almost like you're trying to figure out if you're going to do what you need to do so that you can make a better life for yourself. It's like, I almost feel like there's like two roads, and one of them is going to lead you to a mediocre life, and then this one to the right is going to lead you to like a crazy like life with stories and fun and even sad times, but like so much more options, so much more to do, so much more waiting. And it's fine if you go on the first path, but it's just really boring. And for a Gemini, I'm a Gemini rising, and so this is, I understand this energy really well. And being that, rising is more about your life, like your ascendant sign is about your life path kind of more. So I really understand what this is saying. It's kind of like, yeah, you can go this route. One twin is like, yeah, let's just do this. This is so much simpler, and we know what's going to happen with this. We know, the bad things that come with this, But then this other side is like, well, what the fuck do we want to do that for? Like, we can do this. Like, we can be this. Like, we can become this. Like, why would I settle for that? Because that's easier. So it just depends. Do you want easy or hard? But it also depends on what rewards do you want. If you go hard, yeah, it's hard. But once you get to that ending point, it's like everything you wanted. It's everything that you worked for, everything that you imagined. And that first path is nice, but it's also something that you could get in your second path. That could also be a part of that. But it's just easier to just get to that one, phase, and I guess just stop in your point of life. So this is going to be completely up to you. Three of Wands. You're waiting on your destiny, but I almost feel like there's still some type of decision that needs to be made while you know that your destiny is coming. Are you going to go on the first train or the second train? What benefits do you want? What rewards do you want? What do you see yourself being? Who are you, Gemini? Or at least who do you want to be at the end of the day? Even if you aren't that person now, who do you want to be, Gemini? I know you want to be emotionally strong. I know you want to be able to trust the things you're doing. I know you want to be comfortable where you're at. I know you want to be comfortable with being on the move if that's what the fuck you want to do. I know you want to be comfortable with making decisions when you want to make them. I know you want to be comfortable with waking up one day and feeling this way, and then waking up the next day and feeling another way, and feeling like that's completely okay and you're not crazy. Having the freedom to do that. I feel like that's what you want. There's so much fire in this reading. But all of that fire still stems from some root of one, grounding yourself, and also the emotions in your life, the emotional relationships in your life. And being that there's this sense of needing to merge that together, but being that Gemini, it's like you're so talented in so many different things, but you're a master of nothing, because once you understand something, you move on. And again, I'm channeling right now because I'm a Gemini rising, so I understand. And I know what it feels like to one day wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I found what the fuck I want to do. I found it. And to feel what it is, just that endeavor you want to do, that party you want to plan, or that, I don't know, that travel, that destination you want to go to have that motivation, and what it feels like to have it too, that idea that comes. And especially if you have a lot of fire in your chart, placements, to have an idea and to really want to do it. And then once you do it, it's like the high just like falls. You know what I mean? It's almost like once you get there, it's like you don't have the same drive as some other people to keep going, because you're already satisfied with just doing it. You're already satisfied with just, it happening. But other people, they want more and more and more from it. So that's the difference. So if this is something, if that one path that's harder is something that you see yourself never not thinking about, or you see yourself never giving up on, go for it. Do it by all means. And for the love of all Geminis that have come before us, live the fuck out of your life. Do you hear me? Come back with stories that nobody else can tell, because you are Gemini. You are the messenger. Okay? Like, you are the person who's supposed to go through everything for the most part, just in the sense of being a Gemini. You're the person who's supposed to be able to be, the person who can pretty much say what the fuck is on their mind, and not get shot down for it. So for the love of everything, great, go and live your life. And if that's what you feel, if you're a Gemini who feels like you need to go on a destiny of chilling the fuck out because, your North Node is something that tells you to calm down and settle, then do that. It definitely depends on your natal chart, and if you need help looking into that, hit me up. I got you. But if you're a Gemini who feels in your gut, and in your head, and you feel that you need to go and explore, do it. It's meant for you. And that's for any sign. But, as a Gemini, that back and forth, sometimes you just need someone else on the outside to say, go do it. And I'm a Gemini rising, and I'm telling you, go do it, okay? So from me to you, this is a really, really good reading. I really loved it. This is going to be a life-changing moment for a lot of you. So really be careful on what's going on. I'm really excited, but almost a little nervous for, like, I feel like anxious, happy, but nervous, you know, because it's just so much energy at one time. But you got this, okay? Everything is temporary, but at the same time, everything is worth living through. So don't just think, oh, this is temporary. Really live through it and feel everything that's happening, good, bad, whatever, and then put that in the future time, so you know what it feels like to feel this and this and that, and you can communicate that to other people. That is what you're here for, Gemini. I can't stress that enough. Like, there's a reason you're the eternal teenager. You know, you're meant to explore. You're meant to be in those weird, you know, emotional states on two different sides. You're meant to explore that because for some reason you're going to be able to show and broadcast that to other people in a way that they understand. As a Gemini, just solely on your Gemini placement and stuff like that, that is what a Gemini is, okay? Yeah, this is a good reading. I like this one. So yeah, leave a like, a comment, or subscribe if you felt like anything resonated with you, or if you just like that I put 25 minutes into, you know, out of my day for you. That would really be helpful. You know, just a like, it's free. Yeah, let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what those two paths are, or what those two choices that you're trying to figure out is. Because it could help me, it could help you, other Geminis, other zodiac signs, period. And yeah, just let me know what's going on. Communicate, Gemini. Do it. You know, just type it in there. If you would like a reading, hit me up for that. Just, you know, maybe in the subject or something, just say you need a reading so I know what you're contacting me for. We can get it going like this. For a personal reading. And yeah, I'm love from a Leo. If I'm not your favorite Leo, one day I will be, okay? And until next time, Gemini, I will see you very, very soon. Bye.